Welcome to the second episode of the Superhero Crew podcast. In this episode, Andrew, Rob, and Coach talk about some more upcoming Marvel books coming out in October, and they review and discuss House of X #1. All articles talked about in this video will be linked in the description.
What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew. I'm here with Rob.
Hello.
And I'm here with Coach.
What's up?
And, last episode was a very coachless episode, which is very disappointing.
Yes,
but,
it is very disappointing.
Well, I think it went really well without him.
Oh.
well,
I was trying to be nice.
Oh, sorry.
There's really no account for taste, so.
But welcome to another episode of the Superhero Crew podcast, and I thought we wouldn't have anything to talk about, and I think I'm going to say this every episode, but I thought we had nothing to talk about, but guess what came out?
Stuff
House
to talk about?
of X came out this week, but we're going to talk about it after, so you're going to have to stay tuned, but we are going to talk about this news that came out. It was a couple weeks ago, actually. July 10th, this article actually came out, and it is the 28th. So that at the time that we're recording this, but but we're still going to talk about it because it's October books, and we did get some October books revealed at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, and I figured we could just talk about this instead because there are some pretty interesting things going on here, and I'll have the article to it linked in the description, so check it out. You guys can follow along while we look at it, and you guys ready to look at this amazing new stuff?
I'm overly excited.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, first things first, we have Ghost Rider #1. Now, I did notice when the article first came out that it was called Beware the Ghost Rider, and now it's just called Ghost Rider for some reason. I don't know why that was changed, but it is written by Ed Brisson, art and cover by Aaron Kuder, and the cover is beautiful. And it's something with, so Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch are going to be working together. So Johnny Blaze is the King of Hell, which we've seen in the Avengers book, and now Danny Ketch is also teaming up with him. I guess that's what's going on here, but I'm kind of interested in this book. What do you guys think?
They should have called it Spirits of Vengeance, because that's what they used to call when those two teamed up.
Well, we had a Spirits of Vengeance book like when the whole Marvel Legacy thing happened. We had a Spirits of Vengeance book, and it was Blade, Johnny Blaze, Damian Hellstorm, and Satana.
Well,
so that was right. That. Well,
that should
that
be
was
called, something else.
But that was a 5-issue miniseries, and So what do you guys think? Dad, Coach, father, dad, Coach. What do you think about Ghost Rider #1?
Well, it's a #1, so we have to get it.
That's true.
Ghost Rider is one of those hit or miss characters. It's either really good or terrible. There's no middle ground. You know what I mean? So it's like you said, it's a little misleading where it's going to be the two of them. But it might be, hopefully it takes a good turn. It was like in the 80s was a really good run of Ghost Rider. And then when they brought him back from Cypress Hill Cemetery, Ghost Rider #1. But it's like Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider. It should be like, could be Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance or Ghost Rider Back from the Dead or something catchy,
That's why I like Beware the Ghost Rider, and I was surprised that they're not calling it that. Because I love the little, instead of X-Men, it's Uncanny X-Men, or instead of Miss Marvel, it's the Magnificent Miss Marvel. One of my favorites is instead of Spider-Gwen, they called it Radioactive Spider-Gwen. So I thought that was cool. But anytime they add the little wording, not just the character or the title, I like when they do that because it's like you said, it's catchy that way. I don't know why they changed it to just Ghost Rider. And if it's both Ghost Riders, why are they not called Ghost Riders?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad it's not Robbie Reyes with the car anymore.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible miniseries with Robbie Reyes, and I was like, oh cool, Ghost Rider's getting, it's the new Ghost Rider, let's check him out, see how he is. He was barely in his own book, and that's how Ghost Rider's usually treated, where it's like there's all this other stuff that's going on, and it's not, and Ghost Rider's like a secondary character in his own book, which is stupid. Like that Ghost Rider book, it was 4 on the floor, and it was Silk, Amadeus Cho, Hulk, X-23, and Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider didn't even team up with them until the last issue. So I thought it was pretty horrible. It was really, really bad, but I'm hoping that this is better because it's not him. But I do have to say, Coach, we are reading the Avengers series.
I was just going to say that
I like him in that.
He's a good he's kind of a good team member. He's not a good solo dude. You know what I mean? He's actually good in Avengers, and it's more of in Avengers. He's more of like, why am I the Ghost Rider? I don't know what's a Ghost Rider. But the only cool thing is, it's like, all right, we got to get from here to here. All right, come in my car and we'll drive. And he drives like all the Avengers in the car, Yeah. So that's the only thing. You can't fit all those guys on the back of the bike, back of the chopper.
A good thing is it's Ed Brisson, who's one of the best X-Men writers, was one of the best X-Men writers, and he did really good stuff with them, so hopefully he'll breathe some new life into the Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. And also, it does remind me of that, I think it was 90s, first Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Same font, I think, even. The same logo. It looks very similar. And even the same treatment on the cover looks very similar to that original series. So if they're bringing back that kind of feel, that was good, because he was kind of like, didn't know what was happening to him, because he was just got turned into Ghost Rider. So if they get that kind of feel back, obviously Brissett probably grew up reading those comics, and I think he wants to bring that kind of thing back, so that'd be nice.
Here's a fun fact that Andrew doesn't know, that our grandparents on my father's side are buried very close to Ghost Rider, where he came back.
Nice.
In Cypress Hill Cemetery.
Ah.
So if you read that the Danny Ketch, that first one from the 90s, you'll see that it's right very close, the way they drew it, very close to the where they're buried. So I don't know if Grandma and Grandpa like Ghost Rider per se, but
But so Ghost Rider #1. I'm kind of excited for it, but also I'm obviously concerned because it is Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. But I think the dynamic between Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch will be interesting. So I think that'll be cool. But any last thoughts on Ghost Rider?
Nope.
What?
No.
TBD.
Exactly. So anyway, next we have Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. This is a big slate of writers coming going on here. It's written by Nick Spencer, Jonathan Hickman, Jerry Dugan, Al Ewing, Chip Zdarsky, Kelly Thompson, and Jason Aaron. Art by Chris Bacalo, Chris Sprouse, Greg Smallwood, Michael Allred, Rachel Stott, Valerio Stitti, Cameron Stewart, and Mark Bagley, with the cover by Rod Reyes. And this is going to be some kind of one-shot, and which is crazy with all those writers. But it's something that has to do with S.H.I.E.L.D., and Peter Parker, Spider-Man, has to go on a globe-spanning adventure. According to the article, it will test him as never before. One in which the future of all mankind lies in his gloved, webbed hands. And then it says, who is the mysterious prisoner in the steel box who keeps propelling the wall crawler onward? So I like one-shots a lot, but will this be good? That's my only concern. That's my only concern with anything. What do you guys think?
It sounds like when they do the, what do they call those stories? When everybody writes like one page, and then the person has to follow that person on the next page. That's what it seems like to me. Because when you read it below, it's Nick Spencer and an all-star team, Marvel's heroes, or Marvel's writers, up to the challenge to create the wildest, maddest, most unconventional, amazing Spider-Man story. So I think it is. It's not like a bunch of separate stories. I think it's going to be one story that people just keep adding stuff to with a different artist on almost every page, and that seems not like it would end up being. It might be a fun, like, exercise, but I'm not sure if that'll make a coherent story.
More like a fun, really stupid book, because that sounds like it would be horrible.
Yeah, like it might be like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, look at that artist doing this. Oh, look where they turned it here. But I don't think it's going to be a good story.
Yeah, that's disappointing. There's all these different things going on the cover. Like, Aunt May is a Skrull, the black suit's there, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man werewolf, Spider-Man with Nick Fury, Mary Jane as a werewolf. There's a bunch of different things going on the cover. Who knows what this is going to be? But I do like when they do one-shots like these, but I don't think with all these writers on the book it'll be good, because that always is calls for disaster when there's a lot of writers on the book. So, Coach, what do you think?
It's a one shot, so obviously we have to get it, but
we just have to get everything.
Well,
as a number one on the cover.
The funny part is the he's in the black suit, the symbiote. So is it going to be a bunch of flashbacks or callbacks? It looks like AIM is in the thing with Nick Fury. It looks like AIM on the floor there.
Yeah.
So, I have a feeling it's going to be like the Lost Tales.
Well, not necessarily the symbiote though. You got to remember, because he also wore a black suit that wasn't the symbiote at one point.
Right.
So it could be he's wearing it like as a stealth suit, kind of. You know what I mean?
But
not.
I don't know. I think you might be right about that too. It could be just one page stories telling like missing parts of his history.
Yeah.
Could be that too.
But in the description, it says like something about S.H.I.E.L.D. It doesn't say like, oh, it's a bunch of interesting stories from Spider-Man's past or whatever. It's something about S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's true. And it does say Amazing Spider-Man story, not stories.
Yeah.
So it's like one big story. Yeah. Oh, guest starring Nick Fury, Wolverine, Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham.
Oh. That's dandy.
Yeah. Oh, there he is up in the top corner there.
He's in the top corner,
yeah.
All they need is Howard the Duck.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's there. Look in the one with all the AIM guys. He's in like a tube there.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He's floating.
He's floating there.
That's hilarious.
So it's complete.
Nice.
But, I'm obviously going to have to get this, because I'm very interested to see what'll happen with this, but also I'm kind of scared.
I'm very interested for the video that's going to come out after you read that book.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. It could be. Listen, it could be the greatest Spider-Man story of all time. You never know.
It's definitely hyped.
Yeah, but it looks interesting. We'll see what happens. Next, we have Marvel Zombies Respawn. Next, we have Immortal Hulk 25. No, I'm kidding. But listen, it's Marvel Zombies. Who cares? But the interesting thing is that according to the description here, it looks like it's going to be a reboot of Marvel Zombies, because it's like something new. It's not like coming off of the original Marvel Zombies books. This is something new, and it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and art by Leonard Kirk. And yeah, so listen, zombies, they gotta stop with the zombies, okay? Like, really.
Yeah, what is the point? Why would you reboot Marvel Zombies?
Like, what's the point of rebooting Marvel Zombies?
Yeah, I guess probably because they all killed each other by the end. You want to put the big heroes in that probably died already, so they want to bring them back to have, obviously, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Captain America on the cover, so...
Guys with the strongest healing factors are zombies.
Yeah. So, Marvel Zombies. Yeah, I assume you'd never liked Marvel Zombies, Coach.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. It was all right, but
I've never read any Marvel Zombies, thankfully, so I'm not to have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is interesting that it's a reboot, kind of, but also who cares? I don't know. This is probably like, one book that I am just zero interest in getting, like, at all.
But we have to get it because it's a number one.
We're not getting it because it's a number one. Because it's Marvel Zombies. I don't need them infecting my long box.
That's right. Then they all become zombies.
Right. Exactly. The crappiness of Marvel Zombies Respawn will infect all the other books and make all the other books crap. But anyway, Marvel Zombies is back. Who's excited for that? If you are excited for it, let me know why in the comments below, and then I can tell you why you're wrong. Oh. But anyway, next we have Immortal Hulk 25. I'm not reading the Immortal Hulk series, and I thought this would be interesting to talk about Immortal Hulk 25, and because this is coming out in October. I thought it would be interesting to talk about it because we did read an issue of Immortal Hulk, and Coach, what'd you think of it?
Which issue are you talking about?
Immortal Hulk, I think it was like 16 or 17 or 18 or something.
It wasn't that good. It was kind of, but we got it. That was kind of like a beginning of a new arc or something. But I don't see the hype.
Yeah, but I saw people talking about that issue, and they were saying how fantastic it was. It was like, oh my God, Al Ewing is like, he's amazing at writing. And I'm like, okay, calm down. It was like, and listen, I hate to be that guy, but
you are that guy.
It really wasn't the best. No, I don't want to be the guy. I really don't want to. It wasn't the best, and I was disappointed in it. When the trades come out, well, the trades are out, but like when I get a chance, I want to get the trades for it because
maybe you have to read a bunch of them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this cover, this one is awesome. And then I looked up and it was like, oh, it's Alex Ross. That's why. It's awesome.
Obviously, it's awesome if it's Alex Ross. But the thing with this is that it's a groundbreaking double-sized issue. That's what it says. And it says the death of our universe has come and gone. The Hulk is finally dead. Now, billions of years later, the ninth cosmos cowers. So is this like like some kind of like alternate universe type dealio or something, you know what I mean?
Or like the Thor books where it went far future with Thor. Maybe they're doing that.
Yeah. I don't know.
It seems weird that this isn't just some weird story. It's actually part of the series, so.
Yeah.
It must tie back to the regular series somehow.
Yeah. But
it's funny that it's the Immortal Hulk and it starts off that the Hulk is finally dead.
Yeah, that's true. Who is this Hulk? Is this Bruce Banner Hulk?
It's Bruce Banner, because in Avengers No Surrender, in Civil War 2, spoilers, Hawkeye killed Bruce Banner, and then in Avengers No Surrender, he came back because the Challenger brought him back.
Yeah.
And used him as a part of the game or the competition that was going on.
Right, him and the Grandmaster.
Between him and the Grandmaster.
Nice. Any excuse to bring him back.
Yeah, which I don't even think it took a year. Or, he was dead for about a year, and that was it.
Well, they brought him back as the Immortal Hulk.
Yeah. I don't know. But like I said, the issue that we read wasn't the best, but I heard people talking about how amazing it was, and they were raving about the issue, and I was like, okay, whatever you say. But
it might be one of those things you have to read the rest, though.
Yeah, like you have to read everything. But whatever. Anyway, any final thoughts, guys?
No. Hulk is he hasn't been good since Peter David wrote him.
Coach, any final thoughts?
I don't know. Well, this is not a number one, so we don't need to buy it.
I see.
But it has an Alex Ross cover. Do you have to collect every Alex Ross cover?
All right. Listen, I have too many hobbies to be buying this many books. Anyway, next is Powers of X number 6. Now, we're not going to talk about that because we might as well talk. Listen,
it's just a cover. This is.
It's just the cover. There's nothing really to talk about. But we are going to talk about House of X #1 of 6. This came out, written by Jonathan Hickman. And who is it drawn by? Pepe Larraz.
Yeah.
So, all right. This is the biggest deal of the X-Men in years. And it is the biggest deal of this week, at least, or maybe even this month, or maybe even this year. But, you know, people made this such a big deal, and all the advertising made it such a big deal. We're going to go around the table. Rob, what did you think of it? Your initial thoughts of House of X #1?
Well, I'm as an X-Men reader, I'm disappointed that it is a complete reboot. At least so far. I don't know if it's going to tie into it somehow, but so far it's just a complete reboot. Jonathan Hickman he's a world building kind of guy. He likes to do big ideas, and it's obviously he had this idea of what would happen if the mutants just were like, you know what, screw you guys, we're just gonna we're gonna become a superpower. And I think it's well written, and obviously it's well drawn. It's a beautiful book, but so far it was just so strange. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. But I think Hickman is known for not making sense until the end, kind of thing. So it's one of those things you have to ride with it. And,
now, before we continue, I just really quick, I want to say spoilers, obviously, for House of X. We will be spoiling the whole thing.
Wow.
If
There's
you
not that
haven't
much
read
to
it,
spoil, actually.
Yeah, that is true. But if you haven't read it and you want to, go read it. All I'm going to say is I do recommend that you go pick it up. It is $6, though. That's the disappointing thing.
It is very long, though, too. How long is it?
It is a good amount of pages. That's all I have to say.
I got the digital version. It's 179 pages, so.
Really?
Because it has a full script in it and a bunch of other stuff. Like they have all this extra matter in it.
I see. But next, Coach, what did you think?
I thought it was really good. I liked the whole, it's a reboot, but you know what? Sometimes books need a reboot. And what happens, I like in between when they were discussing what was what and what the drugs were that Xavier came from Krakoa, and that, we're going to give you these 3 drugs that are life-changing, and you need to recognize us as a sovereign nation. And, I thought it was good. I liked it. I liked the artwork was really good. It was a good beginning. So, the Cerebro on his head was a little crazy.
It reminds me of something from East of West that he also writes.
Yeah.
So, I think that's an aesthetic he likes, so the big dome head.
Yeah, but I did like it. I thought it was really good.
All right. Now to my opinion. Coach, I know you've been waiting for this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, okay? I read this 3 times, okay? Because the first time I read it, I was like, huh? Yeah. The second time I read it, I was like, oh, all right. And then the third time I read it, I'm like, okay, all right. So I thought that it was really good. I thought it was really, like, Jonathan Hickman wrote it really good. He's a good writer, okay? But the problem is that it doesn't make me want to read the X-Men, which is what this was supposed to do.
Well, I counter that it doesn't yet. We do have 12 issues to get through, and I think maybe by the end it'll be like, oh, now I want to read them. Maybe not. Yeah. It might be a failed experiment, but I think that's his plan. This first book, if you read this, I think a lot of people will be turned off by it.
Yeah, but like I said, it's like, I don't even, like, it doesn't even make me want to continue reading it. Like, I can't find myself to care that much about the X-Men now that I've read this.
Yeah. Well, especially since the X-Men in it are just blank slates. The only people that have any personality are Magneto and Xavier. I don't think anybody else in there has much of a personality going on. They're kind of just, okay, they're going through the motions. And, yeah, if you didn't know who half the people were, you'd be like, oh, I don't care about this character. I don't know what this means. And not to mention that it's written in another language, a lot of it, too. So.
Yeah. I did find
Yeah, I was going to say, as a graphic designer, how did you like what he did with all that extra stuff, though?
Oh, I thought it was really good. Yeah. I thought it was really cool, and I read every single little, every amount of information that was on each of those pages. I thought it was very set up really cool. You know, I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. But like I said, I can't find myself to care that much, and I don't know if that's a controversial statement or not. But I really, like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like I read it 3 times, and I still I'm not, it's not making me interested to even, like, not just to read X-Men, but to read the rest of this book, and the rest of this series, or Powers of 10, or whatever the heck it is. You know?
Yeah, there wasn't much of a hook. It's kind of like, this is what the world is. There's no hook. Maybe next week with Powers of 10, it'll be a bit more what's going on. Like, why do we care about this at all? But so far, yeah, it's just like a power fantasy for mutants. It's like, yeah, this is what happens when we take over.
Yeah. And on the back, or in the back, it has the reading order, which, thank God they did that. I'm very happy that they did that. But how it is you read House and Powers of X, number 1. And it tells you the dates that these books come out. But it's almost like a weekly book, too.
Yeah, it's every week, yeah.
You know, which is, each issue's $5, which is ridiculous. But it goes until October. October 9th is when Powers of X issue 6 comes out. So you have to read, it's House of Powers of X number 1, and then House and Powers of X number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then they have 3 of the issues highlighted in red. So House of X number 2 is highlighted in red. House of X 5 and Powers of X 6 are all highlighted in red. The others are black. So those might be like the big issues, like the big deals,
Yeah, he likes giving little clues to what's going on. And I do notice at first I was like, oh, it's not in order. It's not 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. It goes, there's different orders, but luckily it's all in, like when it comes out, it's in order, so you don't have to worry about how you read it, because it's just whatever comes out that week, read it. So,
yeah.
But, I think there's a lot of clues. And I actually saw an article. They've already deciphered the mutant language, and there's some clues in there about more things. And a lot of it was just, like he put things in there so that you could figure out the language, all those weird symbols. But, it's interesting. There's a bit of a mystery, but unfortunately, in the actual story, there is no mystery. You're just like, okay, they took over. It could end right there, and that'd be the end of the book.
Yeah. I don't know, Coach. Any? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say they also chump out the Fantastic Four pretty good too there.
Yeah, that was good.
Now, Coach. Any other thoughts about this?
I feel a different way. I feel like, all right, so they're coming from a they've been behind the 8 ball all these years. I mean, forever.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, we're it's almost like a sinister plot, like Magneto, when he was going crazy, or Scarlet Witch with like House of M going crazy. But now it's like, we could do this, but we're not going to. So we want to just be left alone. Leave us alone on our island. And, somebody's going to piss them off, and I want to see what happens. So I feel the opposite way. I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that really annoyed me was that I read all of the Age of X-Men, and none of it matters. By the end, I was like, oh, maybe all these relationships they set up and all this, maybe that'll come into play. No, none of it mattered. If anybody hasn't read Age of X-Men yet, do not read that series. That's my words of wisdom right now.
I think that was just like another thing, you know what I mean? That was just like another event thing that was going on. Maybe it'll tie into it later on, but
I call it
really
filler.
Doubt it. Yeah. And here comes Maya. Maya's
what's her opinion on the X-Men books?
Maya, what's your opinion on House of X? No, okay, she's gone.
Yeah.
But
she didn't like it either.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I liked it, and I'm excited for more, but
that's the thing. Like, I thought it was, like, written good and stuff like that, but it doesn't make me want to, read X-Men, honestly, it makes me not want to read X-Men, you know?
I think the strangeness of it is supposed to be the draw, and that's kind of what Coach was talking about. The whole strange environment and what's going on. It's like, oh, what's going on here? I wonder how that's going to play out. That's the draw, and if you're not invested in that, I think that's when you're like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
I found it jarring. I was just like, what's going on here? Like, is this real? Is this even reality? Am I dreaming? Is Xavier dreaming? What's happening here?
What was the beginning when he was like they were coming out of the tree?
The pod people. Yeah, that's why I think it might not be real. It seems like it's maybe even an alternate reality or some side reality or inside Krakatoa.
One was definitely Cyclops coming out of the pod.
Yep. Well, I think it was the original X-Men. I think it was all 5 original X-Men popping.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
Because one looked like Bobby. So
yeah.
There was a girl.
One looked like Jean.
Yeah. But let's just talk about the art, though. I think the art is great. Pepe Larraz is one of the best artists that Marvel has found somewhere. He has his name isn't Juan, but still he's a good artist.
Yeah, the art is fantastic in this, and it fits it well. But yeah, I mean, House of X.
Yeah, we'll see. Next, I think the next one will be this is what's going on. I think Powers might be the story, where House is the almost like the setting. That's what it seems like it's going to be.
But why not just do like a 12-issue series?
I've said that from the beginning. It should be a 12-issue series. But once again, Hickman is known for his design, so it might be a reason why it's not. Like, he might have a reason why it's separate books. So we'll have to trust Hickman. Did you like his run on Avengers?
Which run is that? Because which run is that? No.
He did. I think he's the one who introduced all the ones. What are they called? The Ebony Maw and those guys.
Oh,
I think he's
the Black Order.
Yeah, the Black Order. I think he's the one who introduced those guys.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I mean, did he write Infinity? Hold on, I'm gonna look at that because if he wrote Infinity, then he's
He also did the Fantastic Four. I think he did the ones with the Future Foundation and all that. He redid the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of his shtick, is to like reboot things.
Yeah, he did it. He did write Infinity. So, Infinity's great. A different type of thing with with Thanos and everything. I think Infinity's good. But it's still the X-Men. And I just now Rob, like you read the X-Men, like a lot of X-Men. You're the biggest X-Men fan I know. But like, are you're disappointed with this?
I'm disappointed in the characters.
Okay.
But I trust the storytelling, so it's one. I'm really like of two minds. As I was reading, I was like, oh, this isn't the X-Men, but then I'm like, Hickman knows what he's doing usually, and he says he loves them, and I have to believe him until it's all over and it fails, and I cry into my pillow. Until then, I have to trust that he will be doing the correct thing.
Yeah.
But so far, it doesn't feel like the X-Men at all. It feels just like a alternate reality kind of book.
Mm-hmm.
A what if almost.
But the thing is that if that's the case and it's an alternate reality book, mm-hmm. I will rain fire because that would suck so much. I think that would be so dumb if it's an alternate universe. You know what I mean?
I think it would be a bit of a betrayal of the trust of the reader, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of doing that, though?
Unless it somehow ties into the real reality in some way. Like it...
I don't know.
If some things from this come into the real... As I'm reading it now, I'm like, this isn't the normal Marvel universe. it doesn't. The the Avengers never showed up. The only people we saw were the Fantastic Four. You think if the mutants started threatening the world, the Avengers might show up?
Well, because then we would have another Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah.
And then the book would be over. But, you know, I don't know. But Coach, you said that you really liked it, though.
Yeah, I think it's a good reboot. You know, he's you know, like what would happen if Xavier said, "All right, listen, just leave us alone. We're going away," and it kind of made sense, you know.
Now, Rob, was there like any anything that happened in any of the X books where Xavier was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this"? Like, was there anything like that where he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go away for a little bit"?
Yeah, he did. He came back. He was dead for a long time. The Cyclops killed him. And he came back and took over Phantom X's body. And that's the body he's in, even in this comic. And he went off and he erased everybody's memory of him being alive. So they all didn't realize he's still kicking around. So he went off into the world. And so he'd been gone for a while. I think that was in a X-Force, not the last X-Force, the one before that. When he came back, so he has.
No, you know what? That was in Astonishing.
Yeah, Astonishing. That's right. Yep. And so he did come back and then disappear again. So there is a plausible where he's been. It's not like he was just like kicking around and all of a sudden this happened. So there is a thing saying that he could have set this all up in the background this whole time. Yeah. But the last time we saw Krakatoa or Krakoa, however you say it. Krakatoa, I think is not the way you say it.
Krakatoa is the
place that exploded.
That's also in that one SpongeBob episode where Squidward became a superhero and he screamed Krakatoa and then lava flew out of his head.
Well, there you go. It is not that. But the last time we saw the island, Kid Omega there, Quentin Quire, was just lounging on it, and he was just vacationing there. So it's kind of strange that all of a sudden this has happened. Was this happening the whole time while he was there?
Yeah, maybe it's like, all right, maybe like House of X is like, all right, you know, this is in like a year from now. You know what I mean? This is like
that's interesting.
And then Powers of X could be like the lead up.
Yeah, that would
you know what I mean?
Good. I so would it's hope like for something like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would I don't know if you've ever heard of something making sense, but that would make sense. That would make the most sense.
Well, yeah. If you just take this series as this is the beginning of the series, that's how you almost have to take it. Don't think of what happened before. Just try to get on the ride and see where it's going.
Yeah.
And if you like the writing and you like the art and you're interested in where it's going, go for it. But if not, $5 a week to read something you're not that interested in. Once again, wait for the trade. I'm sure it's going to come out in a giant, nice couple trades probably because it's going to be, each of them is going to have its own separate one, I assume. Which would be really confusing because the read order will be all screwed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say wait if you didn't enjoy this comic book. But I'll be on. I'm on board. I might be disappointed by the end, which happens quite often, but I'm on board right now.
Well, I mean, you have no choice but to read all the X-Men books because that's what the contract.
That's right.
The contract states that, but
contractually obligated.
Yeah, exactly. You have to read all the X-Men books. I don't know. I just, like the more I think about it, I'm like, more and more not excited for it, So I don't really know, but Coach, you definitely want to read the rest of it.
Yeah,
that's you good, might have
to. Exactly. Well, you know what? You might have to get these, Coach, because I don't know if I can really do this right now because I just got off of War of the Realms, and That was fun. But it's like another, you know what though? I'm happy that we're not getting House of X Avengers. House of X Spider-Man, House of X this, House of X that. Thank God it's only just these two books.
Yeah, I'm glad they canceled everything. And it's just these. Yeah, it makes it clear. You don't have to worry about read order. Read whatever came out that week. You don't have to worry about the tie-ins making sense. It's just here it is. Keep just reading these. It's only 2 months worth of books. You can do it. Once again though, $5 a book for 12 books. That gets pretty expensive by the end.
Yeah, but the War of the Realms was a lot of books also. But the thing is this has a different feel than War of the Realms. War of the Realms was more like all those tie-ins and everything like this, and this is just basically a miniseries.
Yeah,
and I like the feel. It's a little more gritty and a little bit more, less campy than War of the Realms was.
Well, War of the Realms was like an event, like a real event. Like how Marvel usually does their events. This is not really like the standard event.
No.
How they usually do that.
But it's also the good guys are doing something. War of the Realms was the good guys versus bad guys. This is the good guys kind of having a change of like a paradigm shift. So it's kind
they're
of
becoming bad guys.
Yeah, and almost that line like where when they punked the Fantastic Four and he's like, I'll take care of Sabretooth. No, listen, he's done this and this and this. Yeah, but we got him.
Yeah. It was there were some interesting parts. Always Hickman is good at, like I say, world building. And there was the way he used damage control as not just the people who clean up, but also they collect stuff. So they have a collection of things, and that makes them a lot more interesting. They're not just construction workers; they're like a vault almost. And I like that whole scene. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, they kind of alluded to that in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah.
The what was it, Homecoming?
Yeah, with the Vulture.
Yeah, he was in the most secure thing, and they were stockpiling stuff, and so maybe that it's along those lines.
Yeah, it's cool, and I think this is more like a novel. So this is the first chapter in a novel. In the first chapter in a novel, you usually don't really know what's going on. It usually does a better thing of introducing people. How did you feel, Andrew, about the introduction to everybody? Did you understand who everybody was at least a little bit, or just generally? No, not at all.
Not really.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously Magneto and stuff like that, but I was like, obviously Magneto, and then I figured out that that was Xavier and stuff like that. But then it was like we cut to like the New Mutants and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, who are these people? Yeah. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, they didn't introduce much. Like they should have had like a little data sheet saying he was big on having that to be for the drugs and stuff, but he should have had a little thing about the people, because I think if you weren't reading X-Men, there would be a lot of people you're like, who the hell is this guy?
I mean, at least they did the thing. It was like what's her face? I don't know what her name is. Sage. She goes, the interference has the count at 12. Cypher. I was like, okay, I guess that's Cypher. And then Cypher's like, checks out with Krakoa. See, I told you it would work. Sage. I was like, okay, so that's Sage.
Yeah, they at least gave some names to people. But once again, last time we saw Cypher, he was a drug-addled, addicted to the internet. Like, he had long hair and was in recovery and stuff. Like, he was totally different. So that's what I mean. Like, a lot of these characters are dead, like, by the end of the last series. So I think it is a complete reboot or a different reality. Or both. It could be.
Here's the thing. If they want to go for a reboot, they can't just... think of it this way. They did a reboot with DC, okay? They came out with DC Reboot. It was a one-shot that was that explained everything, and then it started, and then all the new number ones came out for DC. But there was an explanation of why it's like a reboot, kind of, you know what I mean? It's like,
And they also didn't sell this as a reboot. I expected the continuity to continue. Even cause the way they talked about it was like, oh, it's a new era, but it's still the X-Men, you know? But this is not. It's like totally different.
Maybe it is a reboot, but not in the sense that like the universe is literally changing like that. Maybe it's like it's a reboot. We're ending the last, 50 years of X-Men, but we're still continuing on. Like it's the same universe, though. It's not. That whole thing like that, with it being a different universe? I think that would be so dumb.
It almost seems like it's a Ultimate X-Men kind of thing, where it's, hey, this is the X-Men, but it's not the X-Men, This is a different reality, but they didn't sell it like that. So by the end, I think they will end up in the normal Marvel Universe reality. But right now, I don't think they're in the Marvel Universe reality. It just seems so separate from what you read in any other Marvel comic book that it seems like they're in their own bubble,
Yeah.
Either just by writing or literally,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. My confidence is about the same as it was before. I'm still apprehensive.
I don't know. I'm still...
Because I always knew it was being written well, because I like Hickman a lot. Like, East of West is one of my favorites, like, Image comics. And so I knew it was going to be written well. It just... And once the art, I knew the art was going to be good, because he's done a lot of X-Men art. So I knew that was going to be fine. It's just the actual story I'm a little like, okay, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah. That's the same here, and I'm just, like I said, I just have no interest. But yeah, so that's our kind of review of House of X #1.
And we really didn't spoil anything, actually.
Yeah, we really, because like you said, there really isn't anything to spoil. You can't really, because not that much happens, so there's not that much to spoil.
Yeah, that's right.
Wolverine was having a good time.
Is that a spoiler?
Yes.
Because he was playing with children?
But he was happy.
Yeah, that's weird. Wolverine's happy.
The hairy guy.
Yeah, and he was in his brown suit.
Was he even in his suit?
I like that one better. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in his.
Well, everybody was basically in costume.
Yeah, it's true. When you think back, it's true. I think they're all pod people. The real X-Men are being life force sucked inside of Krakoa, like back in Giant Sized, and Xavier's replaced them all. Except for Magneto. I can see Magneto going along with this plan.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll find out.
We can only speculate for now.
It's true.
But yeah, guys, if all the people that are listening, let us know what you thought about House of X #1 down in the comments below. And by the time you're listening to this, Powers of X will be out. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Powers of 10. My mistake.
How dare you?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let us know what you thought of House of X #1 down in the comments below. I want to hear what other people thought, because I'm interested. I'm interested to see if people are annoyed with us, but we'll see. See what happens. Anyway, guys, any last thoughts on House of X #1?
Nope, but I won't be here next week, unfortunately. Because Gen Con's on, and I'm going to be at Gen Con, so...
Oh my God, is the next episode going to be a rubless episode?
That's right, it'll be Coach and Andrew going solo.
Oh no. Rob, what are you doing? I can't be with Coach by myself.
Just don't tell Boomer.
No, it'll get out of hand with just Coach. Anyway, guys, any last thoughts?
Nope.
I can't wait to read the next one.
Me neither. Anyway, guys, that's it for the second episode of the Superhero Crew podcast. We're going to be doing this every week, so stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll be talking about some stuff. I'm sure of it. I mean, I think we might be talking about some stuff. We'll see. We'll see.
We got any plugs going or no?
I mean, I don't know. Is there anything? There's not really anything to plug.
Oh, maybe people don't know about the vast empire of our broadcasting channels.
What are you trying to say?
Plug everything else, man. Let's go.
What, like Family Gamers?
Yes.
All right, guys, that's it, and we'll see. No, I'm kidding. But guys, check out Family Gamer 777. I mean, most of you have probably have seen that anyway before you come to this channel. Check out Family Gamer 777, and I don't know. I guess that's the plug.
And Dead's on the podcast.
Dead's on the podcast.
You don't have to plug that.
We got Team Building Exercise, the Third Sphere, which doesn't exist anymore anyway. That's all. If you like miniature organic stuff.
Third Sphere might be doing a reboot. Who knows?
Oh, House of Third Sphere.
That's right. Powers of Third
House
Sphere.
House of Tree.
House of 3. Okay, let's just end this thing.
Yeah, let's end this. But guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.